Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Big Bingy's Theory. Well, it's another week, and it's another twofer, because a guy like me, I can't see just one movie in one weekend. I have a bit of a movie problem, but other than that, hey, gives me something better to do. So today I'll be talking about After Earth and Now You See Me. So let's get things started with After Earth. To start off with, I really wasn't looking forward to this because, well, for one, it's nothing against the Smiths or anything. I have no problem with Will Smith. I think he could be a good actor at some points, until he starts bringing like his children along, and with Jaden Smith, with his career nowadays, and with him being I guess a pop star when he's sitting right next to Justin Bieber, and then he's getting his own little remake of The Karate Kid, like that to me just kind of so I'm not really big fans of these guys now, but this was the latest new M. Night Shyamalan movie, and of course his career nowadays is doing so very well. Must be losing a little bit of that last Airbender money. But other than that, I'm not really looking forward to seeing After Earth. But now that I've seen it, I can honestly say that it's not the worst M. Night Shyamalan movie I've seen, but it is probably the most forgettable. The worst M. Night Shyamalan movie is, of course, The Last Airbender, but some of his movies, he can be, something, memorable. Like Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, which still to this day kind of holds up. And I guess for as stupid as it is, Signs, it has its own little riffing kind of quality to it, so I can enjoy that. Even The Village at some point. And like I said, The Last Airbender was just atrocious. So going into the movie's plot, essentially Earth is now destroyed. It's getting taken over by global warming. Everything's all apocalyptic, and so what Earth decides to do, what the government decides to do, is make up this space station that's called space station, and they take everybody out of Earth and into this planet called Nova Prime, I think it's called, if I remember correctly. And basically, they find that the planet is full of these things called Ursas, which are huge, creepy, crawling kind of things. They're kind of like spiders mixed with xenomorphs. And, well, not really xenomorphs, but like when they come out of the stomach, they're all like slug-looking kind of things. They kind of look like that. But these things are blind, but somehow they can smell your fear. And because of that, they have these soldiers that they kind of shield their fear by calling it ghosting. And they get rid of all the fear. They have no emotion when they're fighting these things, so that makes them pretty much invincible to the Ursas, and they can kill them at any point. Will Smith is one of those soldiers, and he's one of the best. He's the head lieutenant of everything, and he has a son that's played by Jaden Smith, and he wants to be a ranger just like him, but he has that kind of cocky persona that just, he has to be the best and everything, but he still has that shred of fear inside of him, and that doesn't make him ranger quality. And honestly, I can see why. The kid acts like a spoiled brat half the time. Yeah, no surprise, Jaden Smith playing the spoiled brat. Who knew? But yeah, the kid just doesn't listen to orders. He does things on his own. I mean, that's not a common thing for a teenager to do. But when you're dealing with a life or death situation, you have to follow your orders whether you like it or not. If you didn't, every one of your soldiers and everything, they would all die right beside you, and you would feel that kind of responsibility in yourself. Um, but of course, we have to have the dad that has to just open up to his son, be there for his son and everything. And so what he decides to do, what Will Smith decides to do, he's gonna go to this transportation flight, and he wants to take his son along with him as a little father-son bonding time. And of course, they have, by all chance, in their ship, they have a Ursa that's in its egg. It hasn't hatched at all. And during their flight, they go through an asteroid field, breaks apart, and they have to go to a nearby planet in order to repair the ship. And the one closest planet they go to is Earth, which is a level 1 quarantine planet, which, like everything in there, has been known to evolve and kill just only humans. And their ship crashes. Everybody's dead except for Will Smith and Jaden Smith, and they have to send it out a distress beacon that's like clear across about 200 kilometers away from where they crashed. It's like a tail section of the ship. So and Will Smith can't go because his legs were broken during the crash. So Jaden Smith has to be the hero and go after him, and that's pretty much the plot in the summary. It's not a bad story. It's just that you feel like you've seen this kind of movie before, and I wasn't really blown away by it. It's a visually beautiful looking movie, for one thing. One thing that M. Night Shyamalan does in some instances, he can be a very visually good director. He has that good eye for visuals and everything, and I respect him for that. But I just really wasn't caring after a while. It's like after about middle of the second act, I was getting kind of bored because I pretty much knew what was going to happen. I've seen if you've seen these kind of movies before where it's a life and death situation with father or son bonding, you know exactly what's going to happen. So I wasn't really I wasn't really quite enthralled by it as I was hoping I would be. But yeah, it's probably the first film I've seen in a while where Will Smith is kind of restrained in a bit. A lot of his movies, you see him doing the one-liners that's going to make everybody smile, and there are some points where they do that, but it's kind of restricted in a way, which is kind of good. So this was one of his most relaxed kind of roles, where he's that guy with broken legs, and he's just that guy that's trying to be there for his son or whatever. It's very restrained for Will Smith, which is a change. Jaden Smith, on the other hand, I don't know what it is about M. Night Shyamalan when it comes to child actors. Hell, even some teen actors. But man, was Jaden Smith so fucking monotone in this movie. Man, it sounds like he was doing his best Morgan Freeman impression. Like, this is serious. Like, somehow in this future, they all talk like they're narrating as God, as Morgan Freeman. It's just like, fear is a choice. If you chose the wrong thing, it's not that far away. Earth was being taken. We were responsible. And the first 2 minutes of that, you hear that narration from Jaden Smith. It's like, it's so laughable. I was really trying hard to not laugh out loud during the theater when I was in the theater for it. Man, it was just it was bad. It was really bad. And Jaden Smith, for the most part, is not a terrible actor, but man, it was like a mix of Morgan Freeman and Elmer Fudd. It's kind of just like, it's just a weird choice of talking in this movie. Other than that, I can't really say anything else about it because it's kind of forgettable. Like I said, it's one of M. Night Shyamalan's most forgettable films. Like, once you see it, you're gonna forget about it after a while. So, in all honesty, if you want to see this movie, go ahead and just wait till it comes out on DVD, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be an extended cut or some parts in there that weren't in the movie. I wouldn't really go out into the theater for it. Yeah, just give it a rental when it comes out on DVD. So that's what I have to say about it. Now on to Now You See Me. This movie actually kind of interested me based on the trailers, because very few times there's going to be a trailer that's going to be like, I wonder what this is going to be about. It's that kind of thing in me that, even if it's going to be a bad film, I'm like wondering, like, I wonder what this is going to be like. And that's the same thing with this movie, is with the whole magician and how they actually did all of this kind of thing. It would make me have that impression in me that I'm thinking that this couldn't be so bad. So now, after finally seeing it, it's not a bad film. It's not a bad film, but once you get to that third act, you kind of feels anticlimactic. Just to me, it felt very anticlimactic. To get into a plot summary, the movie deals with 4 street magicians played by Jesse Eisenberg. The more he's a better choice of comedy actors. He's like the next version of Michael Cera in a way, but more talented. He's Oscar nominated for The Social Network. Woody Harrelson, which is one of the actors that steals the show for me, because I like Woody Harrelson to a point. Isla Fisher, hopefully I pronounced her right. Beautiful woman, always will be a beautiful woman. And Dave Franco. I've really seen a lot of this guy before, but he's not a bad actor. These guys are just 4 street magicians, and they get called by tarot cards to this little hideout in New York City, and it's giving them blueprints for some sort of magic act that takes them about a year to get ready for. And what happens is, during their act in Las Vegas, they actually take somebody and they somehow magically transport him into New York, into France, with some kind of teleportation machine. And what they do is they have the guy, basically he helps them steal like 100 million euros, and they come back from Paris to there, and that of course gets the FBI's attention. They arrest them, but of course they have no proof of what happened, and it turns out that's not their only big heist. There's going to be like 2 more acts, according to 2 more acts in their little heist, magic heist. And it's up to Mark Ruffalo, who is the other person that steals this movie for me. He can be a very likable asshole in this film. At first you may not like his character, because he just seems that kind of that unlikable person that you just want to see him fall on his ass every now and then. But once you get to the third act, it will be like, oh, I see. But I'll get to that in a little bit. And he's going to be the one that's going to go after these guys. And essentially, it's not really a movie about these 4 magicians as you would think. They don't really show a lot of them well, they show a lot of them, but they don't really focus on them. They focus on the side characters like Mark Ruffalo and his partner. I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's the girl that plays Shoshana in Inglourious Basterds, the French girl. They focus this movie on those 2 instead of the magicians, and it's making you, the audience, figure this thing out for yourself, and that may be a little bit fun. I mean, I like those kind of movies where you have to kind of decipher it yourself in a way, as long as it's not going to make you feel like the movie is just pandering to you. It works in a way, and it doesn't work in a way. Especially, it doesn't work in terms of the third act. When you find out what's really going on, what the whole thing is, it's kind of ridiculous and very anticlimactic. I can't really say that it was a complete waste of time. It's not a bad way to spend a couple hours, but once you're done with it, you're not going to want to see it again, because it's that kind of movie where it encourages you to say, "Hey, you should check this out," in order to see what you've missed. I'm like looking at this. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with what I've seen so far. So, it's worth a look. Don't get me wrong, but I would say wait till DVD for that, because once you're done with it, it's gonna be kind of just like, oh yeah, I've seen it, and it was all right, and that's it. That's really all that it is to it. And I'm sure there's probably going to be a little snippet or something like that they're going to show in the DVD or something for it that's going to explain everything for you. But I'm not going to do that, because I don't think it's worth a second look. So yeah, that's really all that it was. It just, this weekend was nothing but 2 movies I could have waited until DVD. But of course, me being the ever obsessed movie guy that I am, I of course had to see these films, so I can tell you guys what I thought about them. So yeah, I would say After Earth, Now You See Me, wait till DVD. You're not going to miss anything. So that's pretty much about it. So yeah, until next time, you guys, this is Big Bingy, signing out.